Hello, this is a presentation on the media portrayal of people with disabilities.
We will start off by defining what media is. When you think of media, you may be thinking of the news, popular magazines, gossip shows like TMZ, and you are correct. They are forms of media, but hardly the only forms of media out there. The perception that the control of media is delegated to only large and powerful groups is only partially true. The advent of social media has also allowed media to become delegated to the common person. Therefore, what you post on Facebook, what you tweet, and what you rant on Reddit about all contributes to the overall entity that is the media. This is both a good thing and a bad thing. The positive aspect of this is that people are more aware of the different types of people that occupy this earth. The media creates cultural literacy. What does this mean? This means that due to the accessibility of knowledge, there becomes a basic set of knowledge that everyone should know in order to have a culturally literate conversation. Cultural literacy may also cement stereotypes, as common knowledge can often simply be wrong. With the pervasiveness of this common knowledge, it may be especially difficult to break these stereotypes today compared to, let's say, 1980, when the internet was not nearly as pervasive. As I mentioned in the previous slide, cultural literacy can often cement stereotypes, and this can additionally affect our language. This is otherwise known as generic language, which is a way of speaking that reiterates a stereotype. For example, saying girls have long hair defines girlhood as being related to long hair. It doesn't leave open the possibility that some girls may have short hair or kinky hair. Through generic language, it is difficult to convince someone that their ideas are wrong, because their statements become unconditional fact. Images do a similar thing. For example, in marketing, images are often geared towards what we are comfortable with. As with many marginalized groups, stereotypes do not benefit people with intellectual disabilities. While some disabled actors have made a breakthrough in television, many people with disabilities are often portrayed as one of two extremes: incredibly disabled, where they are not able to function, or savant, in other words, a genius. Therefore, it is often lost that diseases such as autism can exist on a spectrum. Sure, the terms low functioning and high functioning exist, but high functioning doesn't necessarily correspond to savant, and low functioning doesn't necessarily correspond to someone who is completely dependent on human assistance. The terms are misleading because every person's experience with autism is different. There are some with autism that may live wonderful lives, and some may not even have the visible features associated with autism. There are autistic people of every race, class, and gender.
Take a moment to look at this video.
Everyone has a moment that changes their life and death.
Today we meet our newest Everyone Has a Story contest winner. Nancy Hirsch wrote us about her son, Zach, and the one choice he made that changed another boy's life forever. We'll meet everyone in a minute, but first let's listen to Nancy's letter.
I write to you today about my oldest son, Zach. Zach is an accomplished athlete and student enjoying tremendous success. I think, though, that his greatest accomplishment occurred one day last winter in his high school cafeteria. Zach noticed a freshman boy seated alone at a table meant for 10, surrounded by hundreds of students. The sight of this pulled heavily on Zach's heartstrings. He didn't know how the boy would respond, but he decided he was going to take a chance and sit with him. He got up from his usual spot the next day and sat with this boy. Thankfully, the boy, named Graham, while very surprised, a little unsure, seemed happy for the company. They found out that they both possessed a huge love of sports, and while their conversations usually centered around that, as their friendship grew, their conversations went much deeper than that. Shortly after their many lunches together, I met Graham's mom, Melissa. She conveyed to me that she was unsure if Zach understood the impact his friendship had on Graham. She told me that it was a life-changing experience for Graham. She explained that Graham is autistic, Asperger's syndrome to be exact, which significantly affects language and social skill development, especially peer interaction. Amazingly, things have changed since Graham met Zach. Melissa says for the first time ever, Graham is reaching out to others. He has embraced his new friendship with Zach, who she says is Graham's first friend. He now has a desire for social interaction than he never ever had before. His confidence and ability to reach out to others has dramatically improved. He is taking more chances and says himself that what he learned from Zach is to challenge yourself even when you don't want to. Melissa cannot put into words the profound impact of Zach's friendship. It has altered the course of Graham's life. It took time and patience, as well as a genuine concern for someone else, for Zach to approach Graham that day in the cafeteria. Hundreds of students passed him daily, but Zach made the effort to reach out. He made the special relationship happen, one which will have a continuous positive effect on another's life.
And Nancy and Zach are here along with Graham Jackson and his mom Melissa.
Welcome,
what
everybody.
A sweet, sweet, sweet
Yeah,
story.
I didn't think I was going to tear up so much about this one. But that's what touched David and our staff and me so much about your letter, was about as one single act of kindness. What made you do it, Zach?
I actually knew about Graham's situation a little bit beforehand because his cousin, Dave Johnson, was on my basketball team, so I'm really good friends with him. And a few days in a row, I'd seen Graham sitting by himself, and at that point, I knew he was a freshman, and I just felt that no one needs to be, sitting at lunch alone, especially when it's tough for him to make friends being a freshman and everything.
Graham, what was it like when Zach sat next to you that day?
It was very good, and I felt like I just made a friend.
Wow.
Was it surprising to you, sweetie? Had you been sitting there quite a while, all alone like that?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
And Nancy, is Zach just the kind of guy who he seems like a great human being, obviously, but he's that sort of guy. Tell us about him.
Well, from an early age, Dave and I tried to instill in our kids, treat people the way you would want to be treated. And that's something I learned from my amazing mom, and he obviously caught on. I mean, not just through our words, but hopefully our actions, and he just is an amazing.
And Melissa, it must have meant a lot to you to hear about this. Tell us your perspective.
It was amazing. Graham came home that day and said, "Guess who I had lunch with today?"
Really?
And I said, "Who?" And he said, "Zach Hirsch." I'm like, "Really?"
Big sports star.
It was.
Big guy on campus.
Right, exactly. I was very surprised.
Wow. And how has it changed your son?
Oh, it's changed him in every way you can imagine, and only for the better. He has learned so much about himself. It's changed the way he looks at the world, the way he looks at other people, and it's just had a life-changing effect on him.
Now, you've gone off to college now, right?
Yep.
So you guys are like long-distance buddies, I would suppose.
Yeah, we email a couple times a week, and after Nebraska football games or big NFL games, he'll always give me a call and give me the score updates because he loves sports, and it's always great to talk to him.
And Graham, I see that you seem like quite the athlete too. I see you out there throwing the baseball. Are you enjoying sports in school?
No, I'm just the manager of the baseball team.
Hey, you know, excuse
Don't
me.
say just.
That means you're the boss.
Yes, it means you run things.
You're the boss, buddy. Yeah, you are.
Very cool.
Oh, well, we are just really inspired by just a single act of kindness. Did you get any flack from it from any of your friends?
No, not really. Actually, a lot of my friends back home did great things and have befriended him so much, and he's got so many more friends. That's just a testament to him to go around and start socializing and meeting new people.
Excellent. Well,
This is so exciting.
I can't wait to hear the song, by the
We
way.
have the beautiful Kate Baldwin, who's just so glorious in Finian's Rainbow on Broadway right now. And she's got also a fabulous new CD out.
does
I
she?
just started listening to it this morning.
How is it?
She sings the songs of Lane and Harburg, and no one less other than Hal Prince gives her, like seal of approval.
Wow.
So
All right.
David and I wrote a very, very special song for you guys, and Kate's going to sing it for us as soon as we come back right after this.
Everyone has a moment that changes their life,
And we are back with Everyone Has a Story and a very special friendship between two outstanding young men.
And now it's time for the song written just for the two of you and sung by the talented and beautiful Broadway performer Kate Baldwin. It's called All Alone.
We see them every day, but too often look away from the ones who are sitting alone. We seldom hear their voice because we make the choice to leave them right there all alone. We see them every everywhere, but too often we don't care. We're lost in a world of our own. We rarely realize they're angels in disguise, so we leave them right there all alone. Can you imagine if hello was a word you'd never heard? Can you imagine if you'd never had a friend? Can you imagine if loneliness was all you'd ever known? It's more than we could ever comprehend. A world, a silent world, without a friend. But miracles can happen, sometimes they really do. And sometimes the miracle turns out to be you. When you embrace a stranger and show love you've never shown, you will make the greatest friend that you have ever known. Someone who used to be, someone who used to be, but now will never be.
Kate Baldwin, thank you so much. We will be back with more of Today on NBC.
Miracles can happen, sometimes they really do, and sometimes the miracle turns out to.
And we are back with Everyone Has a Story, honoring two very special young men.
Kate Baldwin just performed All Alone for Zach and Graham. Also with us is the gentleman responsible for that beautiful melody, David Friedman, and Dave Bellocchio,
sitting on the couch.
Says he never got to be on the couch before. This is the first.
Welcome to the couch.
You know, we've been doing this now since October of last year, and every time I say to myself, gee, are we going to be able to capture it, you know? But I looked over, and there was Graham, and he had tears in your eyes. Buddy, did you like your song?
Yeah, it was a little too sad.
Well, David can hey, all alone, baby. Yeah, we'll jazz it up next time.
Nancy, what do you think?
Oh, I loved it. It was beautiful. They captured it fantastically.
Yeah. Good. Zach, you enjoyed it?
Oh, it was a great song, for sure.
I'm glad. That was beautiful, by the way,
Yes.
Kate.
That was gorgeous.
They went to see you last night in a little thing called Finian's Rainbow, which is a big hit on Broadway. What did you think of it, Nancy?
Oh, loved it.
Yeah.
She has the voice of an angel, so that just.
And
made
I
all
thought
the
she was
show
an
for me.
Irish girl.
Me too.
No,
So you didn't
apparently
know I was from Chicago.
Chicago,
Yeah.
where you all are from too, as well.
Well, this is the fun part. This is when we get to give you guys a little gift, okay? So, Zach, I know that you're a huge sports fan, and you're in college, and you're on a sports scholarship. So our friends at Modell's have generously donated a gift card for you, and you can buy whatever you want with the gift card. So we just put a little
Thing together
bag
here.
But now, this is for Zach, but there's something for both Zach and Graham. It's secret, and it's in the bag. I think it's that round...
This one right
Is that
here?
it? Yes. Open that. Let's just rip that open and
Say
see what
please,
it is.
Hoda. Say please.
Okay, you don't want to read the whole thing, but we'll tell you. There are 2 tickets to the Chicago Cubs baseball game for you two to go together. It's all in there.
When you get home from school this summer, you guys pick a game to go to that you're real excited about, okay? And they have snazzy music, too, at the
they'll
game.
bump it. They'll bump it up for you.
Does that sound like it'd be fun, Zach? Yeah, and we're also we got to throw in, I'm going to get Frank Gifford to send you a football.
Oh.
How would that be?
Yeah.
Oh, now we get a smile. Oh, sure, Frank Gifford to the rescue again.
Tell us what you're studying, Zach, in school.
Right now I'm business administration, but I'll probably end up doing finance and economics.
What do you want to do with your life?
I'm thinking about something like with investment management, stockbroker, something along those lines.
Okay, and you're adjusting to college well? Everything's working out
Yeah,
okay?
it's going real smooth right now. Baseball's going great, so I'm excited.
Oh, wow.
And your love life's good, too, I hear.
Yeah.
See what she does? You have to be very careful, Zach.
Love life.
It's a secret.
And not anymore. Oh, well.
Can I give a shout out to
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
I want to say hi to Taylor and Daniel. They're in school, I hope. They better be in school.
Guys, thank you all so
You're so
much.
awesome, all of you. I hope I didn't get you in trouble, buddy. Hey, Graham, God bless you, okay? And your family. And Zach, I hope, I know there are lots of wonderful, wonderful young people out there just like you. We want to hear your stories. Write to us, okay? We'll be back with much more tomorrow, everybody. Have an awesome day. Why don't you go change someone's life today?
Have fun out there. Oh, by the way, you guys, if you're concerned, tomorrow we're going to do another ambush makeover. So
good.
come to the plaza outside. We might pick you.
Sometimes
Bye,
they
everybody.
really do, and sometimes the miracle turns.
Now that you have seen the video, how did you react? Did you think that there was bias or discrimination present? Was there a difference to how the host spoke to her guests? How did you feel while watching this interview? Take a piece of paper and jot down your thoughts. Believe it or not, the interview was supposed to be portraying people with disabilities and people who help them in a positive light. Unfortunately, the hosts made grave mistakes in the way they handled the interview. You may have noticed the autistic boy Graham never had an opportunity to speak for himself, despite being completely capable of doing so, as you can see in the interview. Even when there were questions specifically directed at him, like how he felt when he made his new friend, someone else answered for him instead of himself. It is also obvious how the interview was hyper-focused on the athlete Zach, praising him and allowing him to speak and treating Graham almost like an animal, or even worse, like a sideshow freak. The interviewers talked to Graham in a distinctively more patronizing tone, like they were assuming he's more retarded and slow than he really is. For example, they used the terms, "You're the boss, buddy, yeah you are. You're quite the athlete, I see you throwing the baseball." These phrases are known as baby talk. This type of language is used as the name dictates by mothers and their young children and training animals like dogs. This type of language used on Graham is clearly offensive and creates the bias that Graham, despite being a high school student, is literally being treated like a baby or even worse, an animal. Not even human. Now there was also the song performed for the tune known as All Alone. The song seems innocent enough, cringeworthy at best, until you realize the song is essentially associating Graham with being all alone, depressed, failing at life, until someone like Graham is saved by a white knight, which is Zach. The commenters on the video on YouTube also caught on the fact of the disturbing imagery the song created for the pair. And when Graham said he cried because the song was too sad, all the others laughed, almost completely dismissing his view and opinion. Take a moment to look at this video.
This is how I see myself. I see myself as a daughter, a sister, and a best friend. As a person you can rely on. I see myself meeting someone that I can share my life with. I see myself singing, dancing, and laughing until I cannot breathe. And also crying sometimes. I see myself following my dreams, even if they are impossible, especially because they're impossible. I see myself as an ordinary person with an important, meaningful, beautiful life. This is how I see myself. How do you see me?
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
This PSA did a lot better job than the interview from the previous video. Through the use of anaphora, I see myself, it solidifies the idea that people with Down syndrome see themselves as any other human being on this earth. That is, until you see the image of what the person with the Down syndrome sees herself as. While Anna Rose, the girl with Down syndrome, is the one voicing the story, she is not seen at all until the end of the video. The majority of her perceived self was portrayed by the actress Olivia Wilde. Here is where the PSA which could have been an excellent PSA, went extremely wrong. By using the classically attractive actress to portray Anna Rose's life, it reinforces the stereotype that people with Down syndrome are indeed not conventionally attractive or normal looking as shown in the end of the video. The effect is amplified as it transitions from Olivia Wilde in the mirror to Anna Rose standing in front of the mirror. This also brings up the beauty bias, in which if one is physically attractive, all other faults are dismissed. That people with Down syndrome are only capable of a normal life if they look like that actress and they want to look like that actress. Otherwise, why would they use an attractive actress to portray Anna Rose's perception of herself? Why not just let Anna Rose be Anna Rose? The language of the PSA is excellent, and it does break many of the existing stereotypes of people with Down syndrome being incapable of living. Unfortunately, the visual shattered and warped the language into a bias and strengthened the stereotype against people with Down syndrome in a different way by using something they have no control over, which is their physical appearance and their beauty.
While the PSA had mixed to positive reviews from viewers, the disabled woman who wrote the article Olivia Wilde's Down Syndrome PSA Gets It So Wrong says that the PSA just reinforces stereotypes and worsens bias. She mentions how she was expected as an individual to hide her disability, to appear as normal as possible. She mentions the fact that most people consider disabled to be a synonym for different, and different is considered bad. The appearances and lives of disabled people generally don't conform to narrow-minded social norms that dictate it is only acceptable to look like a model, and thus Anna Rose was erased from her own life in the PSA and was replaced with the conventional actress. It became the idealized Olivia Wilde's life. Her questions are, why couldn't Anna Rose portray her own life? Why couldn't she be shown dancing, laughing, sitting on the couch with a loved one, walking on the beach with family? If she says that she sees herself doing these things, why isn't she literally seen doing them? Think about it. Both videos tried to make a good impression of people with disabilities, but both had their shortcomings in different ways. The first video stereotyped Graham by the host and other adults being disrespectful and unthoughtful towards him and treating him differently, whether it be consciously or unconsciously. The second video is better with the language but failed with the visual imagery, as the language is now associated with the image of an attractive, normal-looking person rather than the actual people with Down syndrome. The second video has a larger impact on us and how media can create stereotypes and bias by reinforcing the blunt fact that we do associate words with what we see. If the PSA was just a radio broadcast, the stereotype that individuals with Down syndrome must be normal looking to achieve a normal life will be eliminated, and so would the beauty bias in hand. It would just be a powerful audio PSA with good use of language with repetition to get the message across that people with Down syndrome are just like any other individual. Words are delivered, but pictures are remembered.